Himalayan Hipsters. This is your host, Saika.
And I'm Astha.
So, part 2 is going to be about asking questions about me.
Yes.
First episode, getting to know your host. We interviewed Astha. You guys really got to know about her likes, what are her strengths. Really got to know the nitty gritty of when she's stuck in an island, what food that she would pick. I know now, like once she comes to Houston, that's where I'm living right now, it's only going to be fruits. So I learned that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm excited.
Now it's your turn.
It's my turn. And I'm kind of excited of what questions you have for me.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing this so our viewers and listeners and everybody out there can know who it is that's talking to them.
Right.
And why we're talking to them and why we're asking people to start conversations. Right.
Right.
So I'm going to try my best to introduce my Maiju, my aunt, and a really good friend.
Yep.
And even if you weren't somehow related to me and family, I'm sure our paths would have crossed. Like, really feel like the two of us, we just had to meet.
Had to meet.
And as we go, we're going to learn more why and how.
Right.
And who you are. So let's get this started.
Yes. And just kind of like giving you guys a little bit of background. Maybe you don't know, but we have a long distance relationship, right?
Yes, I live in Boston
and I live in Houston. This is really important to us, and we wanted to do this together. We wanted to share with you guys our journey, how we started, and really getting to know each other. Just having that conversation. In the new future episodes, we're not going to be
in the same place.
Yeah. We're going to try to make it happen as much as possible. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice to actually have you here and start our channel together.
Right.
And then you're going to go back to Houston and I'm going to stay here and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Any way we can. But it's so nice to have you here. But first of all, thanks for coming.
Of course.
Thanks for taking time out of your very busy and crazy life. I mean, I don't know if we can tell everyone what's happening, but you have had such a crazy past few weeks. Even that 1 week leading up to this has been nuts.
It's been crazy. It's just
you making time to come here and do this is like really, really great. And I really appreciate you.
Yeah. I mean, this is for us. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is way bigger than us. And for the first time in my life, I found passion. I found my passion.
We're going to get to that. I mean, this is such a big deal for you. And we're going to get to that again. But this really shows how invested you are in this. For you to give up a whole weekend in a crazy schedule that you have and come here and ever since you came to Boston, it's just been us talking about this, trying to make this happen, shooting, meeting people and getting ideas on how to do a shoot. Because tomorrow we're doing our first photo shoot together for our websites and stuff. So we're recording this pretty early than when you're going to be seeing this. So, I mean, every single day you've given your time to this.
And vice
there's
versa.
A big reason why.
Yes.
We're gonna get to that passion thing.
Yes.
I think you finding your passion is something we're just gonna have to go to today. Okay. But before we even get there, let's start with how you grew up. Okay. So you've said something to me that has stuck out and it amazes me because I never heard about this in Nepal before.
Right.
And I hope it's okay to talk about this, but I'm just gonna go to your family. You said that you come from a family where when people got married, the guy would move into the woman's house. So the husband will move in with the wife's family, which is something I've never heard before. Because in Nepal, if you're not Nepali and you're watching this, in Nepal, once a woman gets married, she has to move in with the man and his whole family.
Right.
And kind of take care of everyone.
Right.
But in your family, it was the opposite.
It was
help me understand.
Okay, so it's not that it's a culture, but how my grandfather and it just the way that it happened. So my mom, she has 4 sisters, and the way it happened was because my 2 and we call it Chama, right? My mom's sisters. My mom was the eldest, and three of her younger sisters, their husbands were in the army. And, so what happened was, even with my dad, and he lived outside of the Kathmandu Valley, it just so happens that, my grandfather, he just says, no, they just live here. They can come here and live here. But my grandfather was very open to that concept of having their husband come and stay with us. So we usually have to go to our dad's home
and live there.
Right?
With the dad's family.
Yeah. But all of our 17 cousins that we have from our mom's side of family, first cousins, we all grew up in Mama
a maternal home.
Maternal home, yeah. And that's,
that is amazing. Because in Nepal, I haven't heard of this before.
Yeah.
And when you told me this, I was like, no way. So, I mean, first of all, this already showed, and you said that women were very strong in your family, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And this makes so much sense to me now, because for me to meet you,
right,
and I'm sure people will get to know you better as we move along with our episodes and all of that,
of course,
and with our journey. But now that I know and I speak with you and I talk to you and everything that you stand for, you are such a strong, independent, brave, like bold woman. Like,
thank you.
No, you are. And I really admire that about you. You are not afraid to support somebody when they're actually right. And you don't care about all the other things that go around it, And anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, like, for me to meet a woman like you, it just changed my life. Aww. To be a Nepali woman, to be in the family, you're my Maiju.
Right.
And for you to just be open to all of these things.
Right.
I knew something must have been different for you.
Right.
So this background really makes sense. Sounds like you've come from a family of strong women.
Yes.
Yes. And that's so great.
Yes. And I think I have to give, kudos to, my chamas, right?
And
Chama is my mom's sisters, younger sisters. They were able to speak their minds. My father used to help mom for everything. And the same thing goes with all of the family members that were there. They were supporting each other.
When you say your dad was helping your mom,
yeah,
like, elaborate, because
so let me elaborate. So my mom sometimes, if she was tired, my father was usually just go in and just like make the food and just like serve mom. Like, that was normal for us. When we have like our menstrual cycles and stuff like that, in my home, we never followed that. Even though my mom, like, she was very religious, there was no restrictions for us. Yeah. We grew up, we could go to the kitchen, we could go to the temple. I was brought up like that.
And you said that your mom was also very hip.
Yes.
Right? She was a...
mother. My mom.
Talk about your mom, Ro, because I feel like how much of a hipster your mom was has shaped you to be this woman today, right? So let's talk about her.
Yeah, so like even this podcast named The Hipster, like I used to call my mom a hippie. Like, literally, I used to say, like, you're such a hippie. She wanted to get tattoos. Like,
she had piercings.
She had piercings, like
she had a tattoo on her face.
And then she had a tattoo on her arms because her name was Sumitra, right? That's her name. But like, she wanted to call Urf Shivani because that's her inner, like there was this.
She had a
she had an inner name. She used to call her name self Shivani. She used to write poems. She used to actually publish it. She used to go to, I remember in New Road, there's Gorkhapatra Sastan, which is the newspaper, right, in Nepal. One of the biggest newspapers. And I remember my mom used to just like give, like saying like, okay, here's my new like poems. I remember that.
She would take it.
She used to take it there. And I wish I kept those,
So you tell me your mom wrote poems and went to the newspaper and said, here's my poem.
Yes.
Post them.
Yes.
Wow.
Like she was
giving herself the opportunities that the world didn't give her.
And I remember those things about her. I remember when I was a child, she really liked art, right? She loved paintings. She used to paint in those cloths, those white cloths at the time. Like, you have these paintings. She used to do crochet and she used to do so many things. I remember that I was a kid and she took me to college with her to study how to tailor a kurta. I remember her making dresses, and she was in front of a class. And I remember her taking me, and I used to stay in front of a people boat. Like there's a people tree, and I used to just be there. And I remember her just like drawing those dresses in there, and she used to make these dresses.
Wow.
So she really took the opportunity at the time when I was a kid, and I saw all that.
And she did all of this while having kids, and she was still able to be herself and follow her passions with and you enjoyed it, right?
I was there, and I thought, like, you know, I did not understand at the time. Like, I was just getting along with my mom, you know, and I was the only kid in that class, I remember, with my mom. So just remembering her, you know, like, and she was this, you know, flamboyant personality who made the whole room laugh. And my friends till this day, they messaged me on the side saying, I still remember her smile and how she used to make us laugh. Aww. This is a testament. This project, you know, this is much bigger than myself because this is for her.
Wow. So, wow. First of all, I just need a moment for that. I guess the reason I brought her up, is for many different reasons, but you are invested in this project, Himalayan Hipsters, with so many personal reasons. You want to make sure that your mom will be proud of you.
Yep.
For standing up for yourself, for standing up for other people, for showing other people that it's okay to have a voice and it's okay to speak out. And that's what she taught you.
Yep.
Now, would you say that you remember your mom as a strong woman?
Mm-hmm.
And that made a big impact on you. And you remember it.
I remember when I was doing that. But social stigmas and social cultures, it can weigh even the strongest and the strongest figures.
Yes.
And there were challenges that I saw that she had to battle every single day. You know,
social pressures
and cultures and tradition,
trying to fit into the norm,
because she was literally a hipster.
She stood out.
She stood out, and it was difficult because for her because at the time
people wouldn't understand her. I'm sure
exactly. Nobody understood her, where she was coming from. She was just an amazing woman, and she could not just understand what the world was. So it got to her. Like, I'm pretty sure she's smiling at me and saying, like, all right, okay, all right.
Smiling at you from up there.
Yeah. She's
saying,
like,
look
she's
at
doing
my daughter. She's doing this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. She's that person.
I'm sorry. I wanted to start this. Yeah. It's your interview, but I just wanted to know more about your mom because I feel like you reflect so much of her. Mm-hmm. And I hear you talk about her so much, even outside of this. The way you speak of her, you have this. You are kind of proud to be your daughter almost. Mm-hmm. You're like, yes, that was my mom. She stood out. She was interested in arts and she wanted to do all these things. And for you to experience watching this woman, right, who gave birth to you, have so much power and potential and strength.
Right.
And be in a situation, an environment where it did not let her blossom. Right.
It didn't.
And now you're trying to make sure that you change that for yourself and for everyone else. Right.
Absolutely.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up. Because
absolutely.
I want people to know where you're coming from and why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And it's so much bigger than obviously us and it's for other things too, but also you watching women in your life have to go through certain things. I know it affects you because I know how you speak with me and I know how you talk about women's issues and how you've changed people's lives around you and how you speak about your friends and the women in your life and how you stand up for them. It's so amazing to have this. I mean, that's who you are. You know, and I want people to know that. Okay. But moving on.
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, so how did you end up here today? Like, what are the main events in your life that has made you who you are? Like, what are the most important things that we must know about you? And maybe they shaped who you are and what you stand for.
Right.
Let's say that. And why, and how are all those things making you do this here today
for Himalayan Hipsters?
I want to know it all.
Yeah, that's a really, really deep conversation that has a lot of depth. And I think I want to go back to people who have come into my life, right? I've made mistakes, right? I've learned from those mistakes. I was young. I was like about like 18, almost like coming here in 19, all by myself. You know?
Moved alone?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes.
You came to the country by yourself.
Yes.
At 18.
Like 18, just almost like touching 19. Yes. All by myself. And, you know, at that time, I had no idea about this country. No, you know, absolutely nothing. You could just get influenced from everywhere. Like I said, when you make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes, right? What I learned in the early years, you know, you get swayed. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And you meet people that can easily influence you to the wrong ways.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So those all events did happen to me. And it was a very challenging road. So early on, what I realized is I need to learn. The way that I'm able to do that is if I want to do something in life, I need to find the people who can teach me. For example, I'm here today, even though I'm working in a corporate job, right? But where I am today, you know, I used to work 3 jobs at one point in my life. I used to wake up 2 a.m. to deliver newspapers.
No way.
Yes. And from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m, I used to manage dry cleaners. Like, I think it was like 5 or 6 dry cleaners at the time. Right after that, I used to go coach soccer for those little leagues.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. My point is that, you know, I did all these stuff. Everybody has challenges and everybody has their story behind where they are right now. And for me, what I really learned is that when I'm grounded and I really become compassionate to other people and understand exactly where they're coming from and learn from them, no matter what walks of life they're coming from,
everyone has something that you can
learn from.
Yeah.
I did that. And I am where I am today because of that. And
Absolutely.
I still follow that principle.
Absolutely. And I know you do.
Yes, yes.
Ever since I've known you.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Like, I'm always a student, I thought.
Yes.
I'm always a student.
Yes.
Every day I wake up, I'm a student.
Yes.
And there's so many people in this world that can teach us. I'm talking to you, you teach me something. And I don't take that for granted. And so that's where I am today. And I respect the people that I meet in my life.
Now, just to tell these people that are listening to you how true this is, every day after we talk about something and stuff, you take out time to say, you know what? Today you showed me this and you taught me this and I learned this from you. So I'm so grateful and da 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 da. You are always so quick to tell people you've learned from them and you're grateful to have them. And you do that every day. Actually, I've noticed that happen, you know, and I'm like, it's very refreshing. And I'm learning to do that too, because I learn from people and things every day too, but I don't really talk about it because I just think that that's just how it is and I'm learning. But the way you create this environment makes me feel like, yes, I got more to learn and I'm going to do this too. And I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to learn from everyone, and pushes me to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you treat your entire life as a school, right?
Yes.
Yes. Every single day you wake up, you know you're about to learn something.
Yep.
You're grateful for it.
Yep.
And you have created a system for yourself to always remind yourself to be grateful for things. And I would love to talk about your routine. Your daily routine is pretty amazing. Okay. And I actually want to know because I want to do them too. So let's talk about how you wake up.
Right. So 4 or 5 months ago, I was not in the same page. I loved working out. That was always part of me, but I've always fell back, right? I love the idea of always having to wake up early and having a system for myself in the beginning. Just recently, I have understood what loving myself means. I have understood what I love. I have understood to take care of myself. And I practice this mantra religiously because I have really within myself, I can deeply say that I love myself.
And that's the mantra?
That's the mantra.
Yourself? Okay.
I love myself because once I found out that every morning I wake up, every food I eat, everything I do, I want to make sure I want to educate myself more. What can I do for myself? What can I do for my body? What can I do to take care of me? So everything that goes into this, my system, which is a routine, every morning waking up, writing those positive affirmations for myself to start the day, making sure that I have some fitness in my routine to make sure my body is good. I feel good so that I'm healthy within and outside. Making sure that I'm learning a new language too on the side with all of this happening. I'm continuing. This is my 37 days streak that I'm learning.
You're learning Korean?
I'm learning Korean. A funny story about that. But, just like maintaining that and just like reading books. The system really created it with an understanding and the foundation in my mindset of really loving myself. And I feel that's what motivates me.
Now, see, the reason I bring this up is because you are here to visit me in Boston to be able to do this. So you live in Texas.
Yes.
And last night you arrived pretty late.
Yeah.
I picked you up from the airport and we got to talking. And by the time we had dinner and we were ready for bed, went to bed around 3 a.m.
Yes.
And you still woke up at 6 a.m. and you lit an incense, you meditated, you stretched, you read a book, you learned your language, and you journaled. And I woke up after all of that and I was like, what are we doing today? So, but I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that even if you only get 3 hours of sleep after a long week of work and traveling and all these other crazy things that also is happening in your life right now, you still make that time.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you only have 3 hours of sleep, you wake up to meditate. You read that book. You learn that language. Even how long did you spend today learning Korean?
Probably 10, 15 minutes.
Even 10, 15 minutes. And you know what? The last time I actually met you, it was before you started learning a language.
Yes.
And I said, even just 10, 15 minutes, you can do it. But you take the things that people say and you just do it.
Yes.
I have never met somebody who grows as fast as you do. I just want to say that because this is your host, y'all. When she tells you something, she really means it. And when people give her feedback and when people give her an advice, you really you internalize it, you live it. Even if you don't sleep all night, you'll do it. And I think that is your key to success. I think you have so much discipline. And I don't know if you've always been like this, but I've known this about you. Yeah. And this is, I think, one of the reasons why everything you do, you really do it. Yeah. Even this project, you wanted to do it. And I mean, I met you at the right time, but the way you have motivated me and pushed me, and it's just, your vibes are so good. Right. And everybody tells you that you bring positive vibes to the work environment, right?
Yes. I've received, and I've received that feedback, and I'm so grateful and blessed to get that feedback. I'm so grateful that I'm able to create that environment for the people that work around me. And funny thing you say that, because I'm so big on feedback, because I truly believe when somebody says something to you, that's coming from their heart. I think when somebody has a feedback, right? And I think, when people have gone through certain points in their life and they tell you because they have experienced it.
Yes.
They have done their research and you're just getting the best out of that research. Yeah. Why not do it?
You're learning from their mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah. And why not do it? Why not just implement in your life?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the best teaching?
Yeah.
That somebody will give it to you.
Yeah.
And you're getting free lessons.
Yeah.
Feedback is free lessons.
Yeah. Learning from your own mistakes is something, but learning from everyone else's mistakes,
right,
is just next level learning. And you do it, and I've seen you do it. Oh my God, it's so amazing. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you inspire me too, the way I see you grow, the way I see you change, it's like now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this too. Like she can do it, and like I'm seeing you do it, and you're representing, all that. But wow. Okay, there's so many things I want to talk about, and I want to make sure we get to all of it. But so now we talked about your routine and how you make time for all of this because of self-care. Now you are actually also into fitness, and you've been in a bikini competition, and you kind of won what
second class.
This was your first time joining a competition like this. First of all, why did you join you've said this to me before, but I want people to hear it because it's a great story. Why did you out of nowhere get up one day and decide, I'm going to join a bikini competition?
Okay, I'm trying to remember what version I said. I'm just kidding. No, I think like, okay, so I've always been a shy person.
Yeah.
Like very shy. Yeah. Meaning and stuff like, like my body and, I've been very shy. So I said, why am I have to be shy like this? And I also wanted you to do something that I've never done before. And when I met my husband at the time, boyfriend, he was into weightlifting, your mama, right? And he kind of introduced me to weightlifting and stuff. So I was kind of like intrigued about this new things. And this was in 2012. And at the time he was like, all right, we got to go, like I was just running, just doing cardio. I really wanted to challenge myself first. And then I said, I want to do something that has never been done before in my life. I was shy with my body and I was like, why am I going to be shy? So I just challenged myself or something that I am so weak at. And I said, I'm just going to go out there. And that's what I decided to do. And
that is so cool because you are my Maiju and you went to a bikini competition in America and you placed and you were shy, right? You have this fear of all of these things.
Yes.
And you are the kind of person to face your fears head on.
Yes.
You did it.
Yeah.
And you won. You placed.
Yes, I placed. It was novice, of course. Yeah. It was not like physique. So we have like so many. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Did
it also have to do something with you getting married?
Yes.
Soon?
Yes.
Well, tell us about that.
So basically what happened was we were having the conversation about getting married and I just wanted to do something like, wild and crazy before I got married. And I'm like,
no, wait, other people have bachelorette parties, but you decide to plan like a 6-month training regime to join a bikini competition.
Just like right before, it was not right before, but it was around that time. I'm saying like, I don't know what my in-law is going to be. Yeah. Right, because I love my husband and I respect.
Don't know how your life could have changed after
marriage. And I'm not saying that I was not going to be me, but then there was always this social thing, especially coming from Nepal. There's always this thing, what to expect, And even though like my in-laws will support me 100% on what I do, it was just one of that thing. Like I didn't even know that the unknown, right? You hear stories, you hear crazy stories, and knowing me, I'm like, all right, this is. I'm not gonna let this go. I gotta do this. Something crazy,
And you just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, I just went ahead and did it. I just got on the stage, took up my fears of like just being okay with my body, like really accepting my body, and showing that side of me has never been done before in my life. I want to
put a picture as you're talking about from the competition. I think I might do that. I'm so proud of you. And okay, talking about facing your fears, you also told me you were afraid of heights.
Yes.
And then you went and skydived and bungee jumped.
Yes. You
have a fear of heights and you jumped off a plane.
Yes.
Elaborate.
Okay. So not a lot of people know this about me, even my friends. Like, before when I was a teenager, when we have in our 4-story home in Nepal, we have water tanks that we store water and they are built on the top of the house. Don't know for what reason it's done that way. And we have to really take stairs to go up. But at the time, the house was so new, we did not have those stairs that was like really legit and firm. Mm-hmm. We actually had to have those aluminum staircases,
the ladders,
and hold on and actually walk like on the top. Every single time my mom used to yell and say, can you go and see if the water is there? Because in Nepal, guys, if you have not, at the before, we really had water shortages.
Yeah.
And
it was hard to get water. Yeah.
Yes. And we used to really pump waters every single day.
Yeah.
Every morning at 4 a.m., people used to wake up just to go and get water. That was, you remember that,
right? My granddad would wake up like 3 or 4 a.m.
just to turn on the water machine or something. Yes, to pull the water,
pull
right?
Water into our tank. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was a run for, who got how much water. That was like the competition, amongst neighbors. And every single morning, my mom used to yell and say, Saika, can you go and check how much water do we have? So as soon as I went up, I used to have these sweaty palms, and at the time, probably I was like 11, 12 or something, probably younger than that. And I used to just like go up and just go there. And I used to get these sweaty palms, and every single time, and it was like this tank, the water tank was black. So every time I put my palms and tried to check, I used to see fingerprints. My handprints. And I was like, dude, what is this? I just looked at him and said, what is this? Why do I get this feeling?
Yeah.
Like, I can't understand what this feeling is. And I used to have these butterflies in my stomach. So I was like, all right, this feeling I have, this doesn't make sense. This really does not make sense to me. And every single time I had that feeling, I pushed myself to see further down. I said, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to challenge myself. And I'm going to say to myself, and I really talk to myself, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, now you're seeing that. What is going to happen? I'm here. I'm secured in my balcony. Why am I so scared? So I used to every day push myself to look down. And slowly but surely, that fear dissipated. It started disappearing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't tell you how. So in skydive was one of the things that I've always wanted to do, is to really test myself. Like if I'm really fear of heights within, like subconsciously, right?
You're like, after I've bungee jumped and I've done all of this, I really want to know if I can jump out of a plane.
Plane jumping was like later. Bungee jump was the main one to really test it.
Oh, okay.
So the airplane was like, because you have somebody always in the back, there's a security. And so when I did, I felt that free fall for a second, a few seconds, and then the parachute was on. But I loved it, but I still had the sense of security.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? Right. Bungee jump was something that was something.
Jumping off.
That was jumping off. And at the time, in Pokhara, this is what I did recently. Your mama was like, Buddy, do you really want to do this? And I said, absolutely. We're here. Let's do it,
And I watched that video.
Yes.
And you jumped off that cliff or the bridge or whatever. And even mama says this. She flew like a bird. you literally went like this.
Like a bird.
You did.
I felt like a bird.
And I was just like, damn, look at that woman go.
And at the time, I knew I kind of took the fear of heights away. You know how I knew?
Bet.
You know how I knew?
Because you jumped off a plane.
I mean,
you jumped off a bridge.
It was like at the time when everybody's standing there for their turn. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh my God, guys, I'm scared. Like there were people in that place. Yeah. They were scared, right? Saying, oh my God, door lie. Look, I'm scared, right? Yeah. And for me, the whole time I'm thinking, how am I going to jump? Like it was not because of, I'm scared of heights. I was saying, how am I going to make the perfect formation so I can have the pendulum swing?
The best
experience I can do. Jumping. Because the guys there, the guides, they were saying us, you need to make sure the perfect jump so that you can literally swing. That's the best jump that you can get.
See. Okay.
So I just looked up. I saw all the Machapushra Himal, like all the Himals. The mountains. Yeah. I saw, and I just said, you know what? I love this. And I just jumped. Yeah, I challenge myself when something bothers me.
And after you know what? I jumped off a freaking plane. I jumped off a freaking bridge.
Yeah.
You can't bring me down. And I think that gives you so much power and confidence in itself. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you, from a very young age, have, obviously we all have fears,
right?
But you, from a very young age, have learned how to challenge your fears and face them head on and grow and be better and think about it. And in turn, it makes you very strong, right? And that's the kind of people I want my sisters or siblings or nieces or whoever, like younger generation, looking up to. And there's so many things to fear in this world today, especially as a woman. in Nepali society, let's say, right? There are so many things that we want to do, but we're fearful of.
Yes.
It could be anything, right?
Right.
And even if we had a little bit of this quality, all these fears that we have that we let stop us from doing all the things that we know we want to do or have to do, you have found a way to challenge those things, right?
Right.
And I think that's something that our viewers should know, because we're going to be talking about this later. We're going to be talking about so many issues later. And these are the reasons why I think we need to hear from you.
Right.
You've done this all your life.
Right. And there were ups and downs, you know, because you have, oh, what might people think? That always come in your head in the end of the day. It doesn't matter if it's from my family or like my surroundings or, you know, like, you know, your community. There's always that fear. No matter where you live, there's always that voice in your head, and it will let it get you if you allow it to get it to you. And that's what I say to my cousins, my sisters, and to those who are listening to us. Really, there's nothing that we cannot do if we put our heart, if we put our mind, if we put our soul into that. We can do it. It's not impossible. Even if you're trying, you're doing it. You can never compare yourself to others because those are really important. Everybody have their journey in life. I had mine. I had my own ups and downs. You will have yours. But what I tell to my cousins when I go back home, I was telling you, I was lining them up and I was saying like, don't you ever think less of yourself. You need to build yourself first.
Yeah.
I am your eldest because I'm the eldest among my cousins because my mom is, you know, she was the eldest. So I was the eldest. And I said, don't you dare allow that thought in your head that you are less.
Yeah.
Because when you allow, you wait and you, even if you don't want to follow the path of education or even if you want to follow something that you really love, let's learn that. Make yourself so valuable in life. People are just going to appreciate who you are and you will attract them. You'll attract the people who will appreciate you because you appreciate yourself.
In our society, in our culture, we as women, we grow up hearing these things many times. If you do this, no one's going to marry you.
Yeah.
No man is going to like you if you are, you know, this vocal or this loud.
Right.
Or you need to be obedient or your husband is not going to be happy. Or
right.
From a very young age, we are brought up to serve men. At least, you know, we're made to think that that's our value.
Right.
And that's why this is so important because you come from this place and you come from this environment and you're telling these little kids, don't ever listen to this.
Yeah.
And you know, you will find somebody who will love you for who you are.
Yep.
But don't settle for less.
Yep.
And don't think of yourself less.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Absolutely.
And she did this with cousins. Her cousins, her
I just
children, children around you.
Yes, I will do my due diligence to make sure that they are aware that we are not going to be perfect. But if we allow ourselves to learn, make ourselves skillful, be confident in ourselves, there are going to be people and partners that you're going to meet in your life who will appreciate you for who you are. You'll attract the people who will appreciate you because you appreciate yourself. Trust me, it's like I can't even tell you. It's not impossible. So yeah, as you can see, I'm very passionate about this.
That's exactly where I was taking this. I was like, as you can see, this is who you are 24/7. You are so passionate about letting people know their true potential and not settling for less and being so strong. And that's why I started this conversation with your mom. I was like, what made you like this? Like, I'm sure there has been many people that have influenced you. And obviously so much of it is also you overcoming your own challenges and learning from your mistakes and other people's mistakes and becoming this strong woman. But you are so vocal about these issues and you are so passionate about this project, Himalayan Hipsters. Mm-hmm. You really, really, really want to start conversations and normalize conversations and have difficult conversations.
Yes.
I just want you to talk about why do these things matter so much to you? Like,
when I say like I learn from mistakes, you know, when I say that, you know, I've seen, you know, things that was not right and I want to not follow that path because that path is not right.
Yeah.
Right. But when I see that and I see that path being followed again and again and again, it's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
It's a cycle of the same routine and same system, the same thought process and the same pain. And it never ends. And for me, this is important because if we can just voice that thought in someone's head, right? And you know how we started this whole podcast. And when we were having that conversation that night, with you, Masa, your mama, and myself, we were just having a regular conversation that day and hearing your side of the story, Masa's side of the story. And that was big. And next day he wakes up, your mama, and says, yesterday's conversation really led me to actually go back home, Nepal, every year, if time permits, and really educate my family, if I can, about what we talked about yesterday. We just started the conversation that day. And that allowed a change in someone's heart. And it happens to be my husband's. Yeah. And it's not saying that he's not. Like, he's always been supportive. He talks about this.
It's not about not being supportive. It's about when we are vocal about issues that affect us, people might not be aware. Because we don't really talk about these things. Yes. We just hide it. And we talk about them in secret. But we don't we're not vocal about issues that affect us very deep. In a very big, way. And he was finally made aware.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said to me, now it's like every single day he makes a difference. Every single day. And we come from a very strong society and culture, and we respect them. We do, right? We respect and we love them. They are from our ancestors. We are here because of them, right? And just to kind of really go to, understanding all of that and still voice those saying, why do we do that? Let's do that a little bit differently. Let's make your life a little bit easy. Let's do that. Just starting that conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why this means such a big thing to me, because it's made that change in our lives.
Having conversations or starting conversations really actually does something. It makes us aware of what's going on. Okay, so now that you've told us why you are here doing this with Himalayan Hipsters, what do you hope to achieve from this?
I really hope to see change, growth that we've already seen in us, right? We've already seen us grow and really have more clarity on why we're doing this. It's so easy for us, two women who are very open about their opinions. They voice their opinions and their feedbacks and their thoughts. There are other people out there who are not able to do that so easily.
Yep.
And we want to bring someone in to give us those tools.
Yes.
And those resources for you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what we are here for.
In fact, our next episode, our next guest is going to be a very special human being. And she's this amazing person, amazing mother, amazing wife, an amazing friend. And she's a therapist.
Yes.
And she's going to be joining us and teaching us and telling us how to have healthy conversations and how to start healthy conversations. So that's what's coming up next. And we're really going to dig deep on this topic of conversations and why with Emily Davies, our therapist, our next guest on the show. So I can't wait to share all of this with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. This is what this channel is going to be about, guys.
Yeah. And on our next episode with Emily, we're not only going to be talking about how to have healthy conversations, we're going to talk about mental health therapy and how therapy can help. And, and so many other questions that we want to ask an actual therapist who's been practicing this for a very long time and who's very good at it. And there are so many beautiful conversations yet to have had. And Saika, thank you so much. Maiju.
Yes.
I call you Saika, but
Yes,
sometimes I call you Maiju because, we're cool like that. But thank you so much for sharing your stories and your life. Exactly. There's so much more to come. And we are so happy to do this.
Yeah, we are so happy to do this together. You have you guys had a little bit of sneak peek what is coming in our upcoming episode.
And now you know us a little better.
Yes, exactly. So it kind of like getting to know us and getting to connect with where we stand, what our beliefs are, what was the reason behind it. So we really wanted to set that foundation of where we come from and what our beliefs are, right? So if you're listening and if you're still with us right now, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts. So please share, like, and subscribe us.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
There's more to come.